What is up, guys? I am with my teammate Aaron Copping.
Oh.
And you got second place at the UK finals. You sound disappointed.
It was good, it was good.
But you know what? I think you won, really, because...
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Diego's semi-scooped to me in the final, I guess.
Yeah, he had that. The game 2 had the combo. So,
Yeah, he could have won. He just wanted to give me a chance, didn't he? He wanted to take it to a third.
That's what they said in the stream chat, actually.
Oh, did they?
It was Goji to give Body a chance.
Yeah. It's tough. It's really tough.
So anyway, what did you play?
I played Broly Universe 6, so I have the girls. There they are in all their shiny glory. Yeah.
Nice.
Practiced U6 a lot. Wanted to play something aggressive. A lot of people have moved away from the U6 now and onto the Apes, which, I don't know, it's just a lot more mid-range. For me, I still prefer Khalifa to the Apes. The 4-drop, obviously. And Kale's just a bit of value.
Yeah? So, can you want to run us through your deck?
So, starting with the Khalifas, we have 4 of the 1-drop. She's just a top 5 searcher. She's your evolve target. You will evolve these, which is one of the better cards in the deck, onto this. It's just a usual play out turn 1, turn 2. The only matchups where that's not true is Vegeta Baby. In that matchup, you don't want to play your 1-drops until you've forced your opponent to awaken, and then you can start playing your 1-drops out. Otherwise, they'll just use their unawakened ability to pop them, and you've got nowhere. Because they're trying to race you in that matchup anyway. The matchup as a whole is really strong, but yeah, that's the one niche thing for that matchup. 4 of the 4-drop Khalifa. When you say 4-drop, it's kind of like a 0-drop or a 1-drop. Best kill card in the deck. Well, second best. Just the energy rest. So you're still playing the combo sneak peek. My little pet cards, as everyone says, which the combo used to entail that you would have a bad ring laser up to get through the negate. Now you just have energy rest with the 7 Khalifas that all rest. So often when you're pushing for the kill turn on turn 3, you'll be on 6 life, you'll play this out to rest an energy, go down to 5, attack with your leader, go down to 4, combo with this, then you can awaken and you rest another energy when this comes in. So you've, in theory, if you were pushing for game, you rest your opponent out, and then you can just push from there. So this entire core is just really, really strong. It's what gets you through negates. The self-awaken off the Troublemaker is really strong as well. The only matchup where it's like super, super important to see her is Purunga. Because you don't really want to awaken on turn 4 in that matchup. You want to awaken on turn 3, especially on the play, because sometimes they're unawakened on their turn 2, and being able to play her and awaken on your turn 3 lets you kill that turn when they're still at a 10k. Next, as I spoiled before, we have the kill condition in 90% of matchups. Most games use all the girls to get them to 1 or 2, well, 1 or 3, and then you play this, hopefully with one of these, and then restand off your leader.
Not going 4-4 this time? Not
4-4 this time. At Euros before, I played 4 and 4 with the Broly. That was with Storm though, so that was just all out, let's get them dead on turn 2. This is maybe turn 3, probably turn 4. And now, before, all your early plays were just, in the Storm variant, were just like value and a little bit of just tapping away. Now you've got other actual win cons. You don't need these as much. It still will close out most of the games for you, but you have, the girls are good enough. So there's that. Next we have the super combo of choice, which is Batamo. The reason we play this is because Khalifa searches for a U6, and it being 10k when you're unawakened. It doesn't come up very often, but it is nice. Next we have the counter package, which is 3 Champa and 3 Gohan. I'd considered toying with the numbers a little bit. It's kind of standard to play 3 and 3 now. I considered going to 4 and 2. In the build-up and in the early rounds, Gohan for me hadn't really done anything. There's a lot of matchups where you'll just side it out against like Ramp because it's not going to do anything. But then as I got towards the end of the tournament, I started playing against Apes more. I started playing against Vegeta Baby. It's really, really strong in those matchups. The tempo it gives from bouncing a Bardock back, a Bardock Ape, and then against Vegeta Baby is where it's insane. They'll often play out their Digging Deep, attack with it twice, which will awaken you. Then they'll want to play the 1-drop out and go into the 4-drop. You just respond to the 1-drop with the Gohan and bounce the Digging Deep back. The tempo that gives them is just incredible because they have to hard cast the Digging Deep if they want to get it back out again.
Yeah. So so 3-3 is
3-3 is good. The Champer is just he just stops everyone else's win cons. Anyone going for Mira, Gogeta, literally any of the big sort of boss monsters. He's just an answer to all that. He's just a good tempo player as well. He cycles 2-drop 15k. Next we have the Kale package. 4 and 3. The numbers in these in a lot of builds vary. There's no right answer. I was often in a lot of matchups where I leave this in, I shave off one of each of these when I sideboard out. She's good to have. She's really good against red because they'll keep killing your Cauliflas and your Champa Vados, and she just recycles those. The other thing she does is fuses into Kefla. Kefla is a really big surprise to your opponent. A lot of times when you're pushing for game, you will have a Caulifla 4-drop out. Ideally, you'll have the 1-drop out. Usually do the Kale first, so you'll attack with this, combo this, then have the Caulifla to attack. And then your opponent kind of thinks you're done, and then all of a sudden you have 2 more attacks. Where Senzu Bean comes into it as well is really good. If you've got Senzu Beans on the Cauliflas and Kales, it does carry over into the Kefla. So then she can apply a lot of pressure. In the early rounds and day 1, she was like a little mini MVP for me. She pushed through a lot of games which I probably had no reason to win. She was really, really good. Next we have Beerus. Beerus is just really good energy. There was a few games, not too many, where I would play him out. A lot of times with the deck it's really combo heavy, so you really need your combo phase. So if your opponent can disrupt your combos with the negates, they often will. And just being able to play out a cheap attacker. Sometimes in the matchups I would play out my Gohans and Champas just as 2-drop 15ks, and this is just a better than that because it draws a card. So I didn't play him out very often, but he's there and you can play him out. He's not a bad play. Next you've got the literal best card in the deck, Champa Vados. It's the reason to play U6. The deck just generates so much combo power. There's been so many games where I'm on 2 energy and I have maybe 7-8 cards in hand. Your opponent's thinking about pushing for game, and all of a sudden you rival this, and then you have a handful of 7-10ks, and you have way more combo power than anyone thinks you have. It's what sets up your kill turns as well. If you're pushing for game turn 3, it'll often involve playing something out, rivaling this, and then awakening on tapping the 2 and moving into the 4-drops off your 1-drops. Next we have the sort of techier cards. Bardock Ape, I was playing 2. I borrowed one which I've given back since, so there was 2 of the Ape. The reason it was only 2 is because in this deck it's just a defensive play, and the deck is actually really aggressive. So we didn't really need it for defense that much, but in the matchups where it's good, it's really good. The main ones being the U6 Mirror, which I never played, and against Broly Apes as well. In those matchups, you never clear your opponent's board, you'll always go face. You just want to get them low to stop them being able to use the untap, because that's what kills people. So they have a wide board, and then they'll say attack you with one of their apes, and you'll combo out of it with this one, which comes in and rests another one and cycles. So he's then a combo out and a negate in one. So 2 of them was really good. You could go to 3. There's some games. I think 2's good because it's nice to have 1 in your hand, but having 2 is a little bit awkward. You've already got all the other counter plays which cost 2 as well. The last battle card is a tech card from one of my locals, Luke. I didn't even know what this card did until I think the Friday night, and he'd said that he was going to play one. quickly like Googled it and found it, and yeah, I quite liked the idea of it. So it never actually came up, I never played it, but the theory is that it's a Godstrike Beerus that also draws you a card and is a 20k. The other advantage is that it's one card for your arrivals on your Champervados, and it's a blue-yellow energy to charge early to turn on your counterplays. So it was good. It's just a flex slot. You could replace it with almost anything. Next we have my secret rare of the deck, Cold Bloodlust. Still incredible. It's down to 1 now. Should be down to 1. It's down to 1 for a reason. Yeah, there's not too much that it doesn't do. Obviously there's a few things with deflect, but now Champa covers those. The big one for it is stopping Topo when you're going for your kill turn. Topos are really good negate now, which I learned the hard way. So if you're pushing in for your kill turn and you're 10-3, having this for their Topo is really, really strong. Or the draft box Vegeta as well.
Would you play something like, what's it called? Desperate Measures to stop Topo?
Yeah, you could. So originally I had, I think 2 in the main, or 1 in the main and a couple in the sideboard. I took them out because it wasn't really performing that well for me, but I can see the theory behind it for stopping that. So yeah, you potentially should play one. It should maybe be over the Goku and Vegeta. And then the standard blue card. Wouldn't be a blue deck without Senzu Bean. What doesn't it do? Tempo, combo power. Yeah, best card in the game. Question mark.
Yeah. Maybe not next set.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good cards in the next set. Moving on briefly over my sideboard. Start with 3 Frost. This is for the Shenron matchup, or the Purunga matchup I should say. The main card you don't want to get hit by is Gogeta 7. This stops that. You're not as bothered about Kaioken. He's going to rip your hand apart, but he doesn't do much damage because you've got them low and you have Champa to rest him, so he's not getting in the 2 attacks. So all you don't want to happen is to go down to 3 cards of Gogeta. So that's what this is for. Then we've got 2 Cabra the Revoker. He's for the old school Shenron matchup. He's really good against starter Broly. When they attack in for their like value attack, and you negate with this and turn off its skills to stop them going up the chain, you just bought yourself an entire turn. So yeah, Cabra's just really strong in the matchups where it's good. Those are probably the only 2 matchups where I would bring it in, but in those 2 matchups it's really strong. Next we've got a negate package. I went for 2 Magics, 1 Nimbus. Nimbus isn't quite as good anymore. It's important again for the mirror and for the apes, like I said before. You don't clear board, you just go face. So that often both sides will have say 4 20k double strikes, and Nimbus just buys you an extra turn basically. Time Magic, yep, so I'm over 2 negates, 2 Time Magics. These are also for the Shenron matchup. Stop the triple strike, bring it in the mirror as well. Oftentimes the mirror will come down to mirror, and Time Magic just stops both the mirror attacks getting in. Yeah, so it's for that as well. I think I brought 1 in against Vegeta Baby just to have an extra negate against the triple strike ape, but I don't think it ever came up. So that's that. 2 Haru Haru. This was kind of a last minute addition. I was expecting a lot of the mirror and there was a lot. I didn't like it before because it would just get bloodlusted, but now that bloodlust is down to 1, it's kind of safe to run out. I would only run it out if I hadn't seen my opponent's bloodlust, if I was unawakened, so that I could hardcast it on turn 3, and then even if they bloodlusted it, I could at least untap 2 with my awaken. Otherwise I would just hope to see their bloodlust first. Yeah, it's really good on turn 4, just because you get the extra energy then as well. Next 2 cards are 2 Dark Power Black Master Saiyan. He's just a really good catch-all. His Make Them Discard 2 ability is relevant in a surprising amount of matchups. I wanted it against Purunga again. The reason I want it against Purunga is that I want to awaken a turn earlier. I don't want to awaken on turn 4 because that's too slow. My opponent's going to, especially if they're on the play, they're going to be up to Gogeta at that point, and I'll just die to that. So he lets me awaken. He also disincentivizes the objection into World Peace into Whist play, because they'll have to discard 2, which isn't the end of the world for them because they have a lot of cards. But yeah, he's just to awaken, and that deck doesn't attack you back, so if you play it turn 1, swing, take a life, turn 2, he's probably still going to be there, so you can get in again, and then you're awakened turn 2 if you want to be. So yeah, he was really good. I brought him in quite a bit. And then 3 TNs. He was there for the obvious matchup of Janemba, which I never actually faced. He did come in all my red matchups though. The red matchup, they just pack a ton of removal now. And again, as I was saying before, the deck's really combo heavy. It really wants its combos. So in that matchup, this is just a 1-cost 15k. So it lets you put pressure on. It's something else they have to answer, and it's something else that I can combo on. So I really liked him in that matchup. A lot of the red decks were surprised because they thought this was just for Janemba. And then I played a teammate Soul Striker on camera as well, so it's obviously incredible in that matchup. Not that you would ever prepare for Soul Striker, but it caught the Soul Striker.
Nice. Well, would you make any changes to the list?
No, there's like the odd bit you could change, like this card could maybe come out, you could put in an Ape if you wanted to, or you could move a Time Magic to the main. The Kales, you could play around with the numbers a little bit. I did actually feel a little bit like the few games that I lost was when I didn't find a mirror, so maybe you want to go up to 3 mirrors.
Yeah.
I kind of do, because it's Mirror Champer, or Mirror Kai, but we still call it Mirror Champer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few minor spots, but most of the deck is kind of stock at this point.
Yeah. Did you have any difficult matchups?
Diego with Red Gogeta.
In the finals.
Didn't think I'd be saying that at the end of the weekend. Yeah, it was. Red's just got all the counter plays that it needs. Hand's not aggro enough, and the leader just lets him be aggressive. Oftentimes in that matchup, I'd put myself down to 3 to try and get aggressive on him.
Yeah.
At which point, if he just connects with any battle card, his leader he can just hand dump with his leader on me.
Yeah.
Which is really tough. His leader being a 20k double strike is really, really good. Broly doesn't want to be attacked. He hates being at 0, obviously. But he doesn't like being at 1 either, because he really wants to use his untap. Oftentimes you want to be at 3 because your kill turn will often be Troublemaker in to use his effect, so you want the 2 life to take. So yeah, Red can just counter you and play out the saying cabbers and stuff to pressure you back. I played Vegeta Baby a couple of times. That wasn't as bad. Like I said, the counter plays are really strong in that matchup. And yeah, it's just not as all in on the hate. It sort of hates on its own turn. So then it'll clear my board with the baby stuff, and then I can just arrival stuff or replay a Bardock Ape and then just apply more pressure on my turn. So that wasn't so bad. And the deck's just really good against Purunga, Ramp. I like it against Apes. Just feels a little bit faster than Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing of the deck really, it's just fast.
Yeah.
Feels fast.
Well, congratulations, you did really well.
Thank you.
Broke the top 8 duck.
I did. Finally got through the top 8.
Any shout outs before we go?
Yeah, shout out to everyone on my team, Kitchen Table EU. Yeah, everyone on the team performed really well. There's a lot of support. I really appreciate everyone being here. Thanks to Tom. He was my driver for the weekend. I wouldn't have been able to come back today if it wasn't for him. So big thanks for that.
Hey.
Nope. Great. That's my driver for the weekend. I wouldn't have been able to come back today without that. So that I really appreciate. Shout out to everyone at my locals playing Travelling Man Leeds. A few people lent me cards. A few people give me card ideas. Thanks, Luke. Didn't really come up, but I appreciate it anyway. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Cheers.